Excellencies, we have unprecedented circumstances as we confront the devastating economic and social crisis unleashed by the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a health emergency has evolved into a multi-headed threat to global stability and sustainable development. In Costa Rica, as in the other countries, current figures predict a negative effect on the progress made in the last 5 years towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. This, as a result of a rise in the unemployment rate, low domestic production, slowdown in the quality of unemployment, impacts on education, financial fragility, and other structural challenges. In realizing the hard conditions to be faced in the short and long run, we have taken resolute steps to protect small and medium-sized enterprises, current employment, and their potential to generate new business. The National Development Banking System has put forward very concrete and specific measures to ease the impact of COVID-19 in the key industries such as tourism, commerce, and transport. And at the global level, existing and underutilizing policy options have been presented in order to provide governments with the necessary funds to respond quickly and sufficiently to the emergency needs, while avoiding unsustainable debt levels and crippling credit ratings such as special purpose vehicles, repo facilities, and our own proposal FACE, a support fund to alleviate COVID economics. FACE will catalyze approximately 0.7% of global GDP channeled through one or several multilateral development banks, which could lend concessional finance and investments to provide extraordinary financing to the developing countries that had limited policy tools to respond to the crisis, and to keep them on track to fulfilling 2030 Agenda and the SDGs. Besides urgent resource mobilizations, fixing market distortions, and transforming stagnant conceptions such as income per capita classifications are also necessary to ensure that recovery actions consider country-specific contexts, needs, and vulnerabilities. No country should be excluded from fair finance for development. Engaging credit rating agencies and expanding the debt service suspension initiative and other debt service initiatives to include middle-income countries are necessary to avoid unfair ratings and unsustainable debt levels. Costa Rica also advocates for alternatives to invest in resilience and thus build back better, to make sure that our response to this crisis is aligned with our Sustainable Development Goals and commitments, especially through nature-based solutions, blue and green bonds and debt swaps for nature and climate, and creating innovative mechanisms that support developing countries in the accelerated implementation of development goals. Additional liquidity and fiscal space to strengthen and expand the protection and economical stability are required. This could be enabled through speedy and flexible financing, the formation of partnerships, and the strengthening of international cooperation, which are key in addressing the challenges posed by the sanitary emergency and by the SDGs and 2030 Agenda. This crisis gives us a unique opportunity to define actions and seek solutions in line with sustainable development from a multi-stakeholder and multi-level approach, putting people and nature at the center of progress and well-being. Only through strengthened cooperation and a focus on solidarity, we will be able to set ourselves on the path of inclusive, green, and sustainable development. Thank you.